All right. Testing, testing. Can you hear me all right? I'll just get you up here as co-host, Mr. Action. All right. I think you're up. Hopefully you're doing well on this fine Wednesday evening, your time.
I am doing phenomenal. It's almost 7 p.m. here. I got an hour to drive before I get home. So things are really good.
Oh, we've got you road warrior style. That's nice.
Yeah. I mean, thankfully, I'm the path that I'm on. I got good connection throughout. So, I mean, I've been doing spaces on the way up and on the way down every day here.
Nice.
Yesterday was the first day. This is day 2. But you're acting like you don't know what I'm talking about. Somebody might have been at the Killer Whales set. I'm not going to disclose who.
Oh yeah, I've seen some of that. That's the one that they've done the show, right? Didn't they have a token called Hello? Wasn't it Hello Labs or something? Oh
yeah. Hello Labs. They still got the token. Yeah, I mean, season 1 went well, so I mean, season 2 is actually going to be bigger. And they said they were smart, man. Like this time around, so we have a VIP area where we get to comment on the judges, and like we get to actually share our opinions on what's going on in the judges' quarters, basically. And yeah, I mean,
wow.
I gotta say, roasting whales is quite fun.
Oh, we might have lost you a little bit. I think you're going on mute.
No, I muted, but I think I hit mute a little too early. I forget that the noise cancellation is actually pretty decent. I don't need to be that crazy with muting and unmuting.
Yeah, I missed what you said, but no, your sound's coming through real clear. I wouldn't even know if you were driving. That's really good.
I'm not driving. What are you talking about, Corey?
Oh, what? I thought you were on the ride, man. What are you doing? This guy's crazy. He's flying. He's in a plane. He's on MaskLink.
Actually, that was last week. I did a plane space last week on Wednesday, flying back from Vegas. And you got Starlink, and there's only like 10 people in the plane. Connection's really good.
Wow, I can imagine. Yeah, I mean, upload's probably not the best, but download's amazing. Actually, someone in our community was just coming back in to use Mask after a little break, because they were moving or traveling or something, and they're like, "Yeah, I've got Starlink now. I want to try it." And it's been working quite well, so that's cool. Cool to see, meshing all the tech together.
Yeah, man. Like people are here for the money. I'm just here for the tech.
I'm here for the tech. Hey, we're all here for the tech.
Really funny. We talked about that today. Like you're like, yeah, we want to make money. It's like I just want to see cool stuff get developed, man. Like what are you talking about? Like I can make money anywhere. Like I want to see like the next generation of like protocols that are going to be coming out. Like that's what I want to see happening in the space.
Oh, 100%. I mean, the money will come, in that regard, if you've got good products and lots of users love them. I mean, hey, that's how it happens anyway. But yeah, we got
100%.
Yeah. Well, you're rubbing shoulders with a lot of, pretty high up people. Is Mario still on the Killer Whales channel?
Oh yeah. He's still there. What do you mean rubbing shoulders with high-end people? Like, yeah, dude, like, you mean my friends?
Yeah, your friend. Well, they're friends, you got to make sure they prove themselves, Action, because you're one of the good ones. Make sure they're all high caliber like you.
I will say without a shadow of a doubt, not everybody in that room was neither high caliber nor quality.
You're just talking about the contestants. Don't be mean to the panel, or else we'll never invite you back.
No. Oh no, yeah, they're probably going to put some hot takes in there because I just got rugged by a random phone call. Who thought that was going to happen?
Yeah, I was like, oh, he's got cut off again. He said his reception was great. Now you're back now.
I just got a call. Yeah. So fun thing. My card just got wrapped, so I'm like waiting for it to figure out what's going on and when it can actually pick it up. Because I'm having to drive one of these gas guzzlers.
Oh yeah.
So the Tesla's finally wrapped. It looks pretty in yellow.
Really? Oh, so have you got any token emblems on there too?
No, nobody wanted to sponsor it, so I just went with yellow because my wife
Bro,
wanted a yellow car.
you never told me. I might have sponsored Sky Blue with with the mask logo on the back.
You know what? There may or may not have been a Cybertruck that drove in the set of killer whales yesterday with some logo on the side of it. So I think that would have been a much better use for mask if we had the mask logo on the side of that. So I might just have to buy one. I mean, I'm still in the
Yeah,
waiting list for it.
we'll save up, and we'll get it going, and then you tell me, if you're auctioning off ad space on your vehicle, just keep me in mind. Do me some mates rates. We're gonna, it could be part of our marketing that we're kicking off, so that's good.
That's hilarious. That would be so funny. No, but like if I was actually like auctioning off pieces of the car, I'd charge other people more money so I could do masks for free. You know how that would go down.
Yeah, man, that's it. You gotta lead with the boys,
There. I try to be the Robin Hood of crypto. I want to take from people who have a lot and then spread love with everybody else.
That's right. He'll be the action hood. Well,
all right. I am coining that phrase, action hood. I love it.
That's it. So yeah, if we see that, circling around as a trending thing somewhere on Spaces or X, we'll be like, oh yeah, you heard it here first. But we're going to talk a lot about mask and maybe some firsts that we've been paving the way to, because hey, there's lots of stuff going on. It's easy to lose track in the noise because, there's lots of projects out there. Obviously, we always have crazy news coming out every single day about the blockchain space, the Web3 space. The markets have had a hit, with lots of things. But then they say, oh, the ETF for ETH might go live in a week or two. So who knows? But no matter what, Mask is always doing something. Our devs and our team are always active. We're pushing out new features. We're pushing out new product improvements. And of course, we've just rolled out some really, really exciting stuff that we want everyone listening and everyone who hears the recording to remind them, come back in and engage with us. Cause things aren't slowing down on our end. We've still got massive goals. We've got massive features mapped out that are coming out. And we already shared in our last spaces that, we've already started planning and actually work is beginning on a mask extension for the browser. So we know that will open up users from any browser to just tap into Mask and use it. And it'll be basically like a thin client sort of version. You don't have to have the browser if you don't want to use the browser, because some people may not want to have more than one browser, although we think if you try it, you'd probably like it. But it's going to broaden that audience. So that's one of the biggest things, we want to talk about is the community initiatives, that ecosystem accelerator we started, and the fact that work has started on the extensions. So I don't know what your favorite browser is, Action. You might be biased if I was to ask you.
Me? What's my favorite browser? Canary.
Or what do you use the most? Canary.
Do you know what Canary is?
I have never used that. Is that a version of something?
It's actually a version of Chrome. It's like the beta version of Chrome. You get updates to Canary before you get it to Chrome.
Yes, this is their beta. Yeah, basically their beta product version. Yeah, I thought it sounded familiar.
Yeah, so
nice.
Back in the day where you couldn't have different profiles on Chrome, that was the only way you could do it, and having different accounts logged in and stuff. So Canary was my go-to, just because I didn't want to go incognito to have different accounts. So Canary was where it was at. No, but yeah, honestly, Chrome is probably one of my top ones on desktop. The laptop, I actually use Mask more than any other on my laptop. But this extension thing is kind of exciting because it means I can actually have Mask on a Chromebook, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And that's a big reason why we want to pivot some of our attention, because we've done all this work in the browser. For people who've used it, at least for a few versions, you've noticed the shift where, we took away some old dashboard screens. We've condensed things into a little widget that sits on your desktop screen in Mask Browser. And that's essentially what will become the extension. So all that work was actually like preliminary work that was also going to add value to other apps like the extension, like a mobile version, whatever, maybe a one-click system app you can pull up off your tray. But we think that the extension, after doing a bit of market research as well the past month, we feel like the extension will allow us to have the most broadest audience. It'll allow people, the first probably target browser we're going to make it for, because you do have to ship extensions for various browser frameworks, because Mozilla Firefox, for example, they run on a different engine to Chrome. So if you want to support more than one, sometimes you got to do a little extra work. But Chrome's by far the biggest market share of browsers. So if we target them and get into the Chrome Web Store or extension store, we'll get a lot of eyes, because people can simply download it straight into the browser, turn it on, make sure they've got the Mask software running, and privatize their Chrome browser with Mask. It basically becomes a Mask feature, a Mask privacy tool that sits in your browser. So that's the goal.
So you're gonna mask people's browsers.
Yeah, you can maskify your browser. So you want to turn on Mask privacy. It'll be a couple clicks. Boom, your browser is now maskified.
So hang on a second. Are we going to be able to serve data on an extension as well, or are we only going to be able to consume?
Well, that's what's cool. This will all be baked into basically the same user interface, the same user experience you have in the Mask browser. It'll just become an extension. So you can use your normal browser, all your favorite stuff still in there, your default daily browser. You just will have an extension that runs Mask. And if you turn it on and you turn on serving, it's going to run serving, all with the same type of interface. So we won't actually have to do any extra work. And the user doesn't have to do any extra work. If their routers and their config allows it, like some ISPs are really strict, they don't allow you to do the stuff to forward your router. But if your ISP does, it'll be just the same as using the browser, which is like a win.
I may have half a dozen Chromebooks lying around that I never know what to do with. This means I can just go over people's houses, drop off a laptop, like, oh yeah, just leave this here, and keep it charged and serve from other people's locations. This is phenomenal.
100%. Hey, if you got those Wi-Fi keys, man, just save it and hide that laptop somewhere, and plug it into some power under a table or something. And yes, you can run serving from their house, man. You could have a little cluster of your own, a little Mask network of your own that you're running.
Have that flipper has gone a long way for me as far as finding Wi-Fi access anywhere I go. So shout out.
I really need to get one of those. They're not banned yet, are they? I really need to get a Flipper Zero.
They're not. You totally should.
Oh man. Yeah, so that's pretty. It's funny. We early on we started talking about ideas and use cases for Mask, and actually one crazy one that was someone in the team, I forget who it was, they brought it up. It was similar to what you said, but using a Raspberry Pi, because they're really small and inconspicuous, and of course, it's so low power. And someone called it a Mask grenade, and essentially you had a way to have it self-powered, and you just chucked it somewhere. Let's say at a festival, you could just throw this little Mask grenade there. It has 4 hours of power, and you could just connect to it with your password, and you had Mask internet at this place, which didn't have anything, and you could run it, and it was like stealth, like a mask, maskifying the area you're in. It's pretty cool.
Is this usually your go-to? I'm asking this question for a friend. Is this your the default? Oh yeah, somebody on the team came up with this crazy idea. I won't say who it was, but I see him all the time in the mirror.
yeah, no names. Some wild man just decided that was a good idea, and I don't know. I'm not going to give the recipe, but that's it's a good idea. Maybe it'll take place now that I've talked about it. But Mask grenade. Hey, Mask Chromebook. I mean, the sky's the limit. People can maskify routers. Really, someone's doing that actually. I think someone runs it.
The sky's the limit for now. For now, once we get connectivity to the moon and Mars, the space is the limit. You know what I mean?
Oh
Dealing
yeah.
with
No, I mean,
satellite
hey,
internet, that's just as far as we can go.
yeah, it's that there is no limit. The digital world is no limit.
Limitless.
It is
Which
limitless.
happens to be a fantastic show in Vegas. If anybody's interested in magic show, best thing I did last trip to Vegas. Just heads up.
Oh wow. I've seen some good shows in Vegas, man, but I haven't been in a while. Maybe, that'd be a good location for a meetup one time. What's the crypto one they have in Vegas every year? Don't they still have one?
And they have, they just had a Bitmain's conference in Vegas. That's the one. That's why I was in the plane.
Oh yeah.
We're actually using mask on all spaces. That was that last flight. But there's Rare Evo happening in August. It's going to be at Caesar's Palace.
Ooh.
Shout out Wes. He'll get you a free booth if you decide to dox, Corey.
Oh,
Even if he doesn't, I'll pay for the booth.
Well, I mean, it's probably one day it's going to happen. I'll have to look at if they can match the mask colors to a morph suit. Someone said morph suit. I was like, maybe I'll have to get a morph suit. Do it. I've got all the merch.
Yeah, well, you should. You should line it up with the release of Killer Whales 2, since everybody's going to see your face anyway.
Yeah, I'm waiting to hear from Mario for the event invite so I can book my flights.
Dude, you don't need an invite. You're always welcome. Just let me know when you're coming up, and I'll let people know to get you on the VIP list. That's how this game works.
Oh man, you're starting to convince me here. You're starting to convince me here. Now I just got to convince the family. Hey, I'm going to go for a few days overseas to dox myself for mask.
All right, you know what? We're gonna shelf this idea. I'm gonna bring it back up in a month or so we can talk about Token 2049. Maybe we'll do it there.
Ooh.
Singapore is going to be a big hit. That might be the place to do it.
That is, and it's quite a bit closer to where I live, so that's good. Not as much flying time. Yeah. But no, man.
I'm looking out for you, man. I'm looking out.
He is. Well, one of these days, when when the popularity and the adoption happens, as we know it will, it'd be cool to just have everyone who always says, even yourself, "Oh, New Zealand's on my bucket list. New Zealand's on my bucket list." Blah blah blah. I'm like, shit. You guys are spending so much money going to Singapore, Dubai, whatever. There's awesome deals. We should just hold a conference in New Zealand, and everyone can tick their bucket list and actually do one here down under. You can come on my side of the planet and have some fun, right?
I know a few projects based in New Zealand, dude. We can actually make this happen. That's not a bad idea.
Yeah, there's some really smart people down here with some awesome projects. I mean, I don't know. Futureverse is a massive one in the metaverse space with the McDonald's brothers. They're all Kiwis. I'm sure they're jet setting everywhere with all their big plans. But yeah, I'm sure they all would love to have some take in it too, because they're all here in New Zealand, or at least a lot of their team is. So yeah, there's a lot that could be done down here. Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean, the only difficult part of it is how welcoming you'd be to the Aussies that might want to come.
Yeah, if they drink our beer, then I think that's the brownie points will be slowly earned. If they're not going into the bar and saying, "Oh, mate, you get a Foster's over there," we're like, "Nah, we don't survey here." Sorry, guys.
That's hilarious. That's hilarious. I feel like I need to invite some of the Aussie people that I know just to see how they feel about this.
Yeah, there might be a little rivalry here. They're like, "Oh, let's look whose market cap is highest." I'm like, "Bro, it's not rugby. Let's just talk tech."
I mean, usually my default for anybody in Australia, it's like everything is trying to kill you there. Why would I live in that place?
Oh man, it is kind of crazy. A lot of our family live there, and it's every once in a while they'll send a picture of this big snake that they see somewhere close to them. I'm like, why are you even stopping to take pictures? Like, Jesus, that looks really serious.
Yeah, between scorpions, snakes, spiders, I mean, you name it. Like I said, everything's trying to kill you in Australia.
Yeah, man. But hey, to parallel that to the online space, it's like every service we use is almost like they're trying to find a way to get our data. If you think about it, Aussie's like, it's like the predatory Aussie of online space is like everywhere is going to get you. Everywhere is going to try and harvest something.
Well, I know what analogy I'm going to use next when I talk to those guys. Like, how everything's trying to kill you in Australia? Well, it's the same way that everybody's trying to steal your data, and from Web 2. So we need to do something about this. The same way that we basically, that Australia built some weird fence across the whole country to prevent migration of like bunnies. So like, it's the same idea. We got to do something about the migration of data off my hands to Google's and everybody else. So like, I'm with you. And let me tell you, like, scariest thing in the world right now is AI and Apple, man.
Oh.
That whole open AI thing is driving me nuts right now.
Yep. And everyone is saying, oh no, it's only done locally on your device unless you turn it on to offload to the cloud for like high level computational stuff. And I'm like, that's not the point, bro. Like, you're essentially giving a backdoor in for a language learning model run by AI, OpenAI, who's already been harvesting irises across the world in third world countries. I mean, it's just all smells bad, bro. And then I just recently interacted with a tweet, like with a next post, and it was from Apple saying Safari, the private browser. And I'm like, is it now? Like, I hope they stand by that, because it hasn't been that all the time. Maybe they're better than some, though. They're probably better than Chrome, to be fair.
I think that, yeah, you're right about that. I think they probably are better than Chrome, but how do you make that claim? Like, what's the data points that they're analyzing to make that claim? That's kind of out there.
Yeah, it's pretty wild, man. But I mean, hey, we won't try and step them out. I think in terms of like the extension, we'll try and make it work on. We'll go in order of how popular each browser is and make sure our extension will work. And eventually we'll get to Safari. And hey, if someone cares enough about their privacy, maybe they'll use Mask in their Safari browser if they're a Safari user. But I don't know. Like, I know you might have some Apple products. Do most people who have Apple use Safari, or do they all tend to use a different browser anyway, like Chrome?
Yeah, they usually go to google.com/Chrome. It's the only website they actually use on Safari.
I would assume so.
It's
like Edge, right? Unless your grandma just got a new laptop with Windows on it, you're probably going to download Chrome or Firefox or another flavor and use that.
Bingo.
Yeah.
That's exactly it. Yeah. Nobody's using Safari, honestly.
No,
and Apple keeps trying, right? Like, anything that goes out, like any announcements, like best viewed on Safari browser, this version or higher, and it's like, stop. Like, there was a time where they didn't allow other browsers to actually view their content.
Yeah, that's right.
Did that for a
they
while.
Locked the default in their stuff.
They did. Then they realized, like, oh, this is not good for sales. We should probably disable this.
Yeah. Well, I've been talking over the last year or so, every now and then, with the Presearch guys, and they had a big issue with that very thing, because not only were they struggling to get a Presearch type of search app on the Apple, the iPhone store, the Apple Store, or whatever it is, iOS App Store.
App Store,
yeah, they locked the search defaults because obviously they have a deal with Google, and so Google, they share whatever, do some kind of agreement where they share revenue, whatever, and so the default search engine in an iPhone is most likely Google, and so you almost can't offer an app that allows you to just turn on another search engine without jumping through a whole bunch of hoops, because essentially it's like, competing with Google, which is just so crazy. Like, the options, people have the illusion of options, but then when you try and really do it, it's like, actually, they've made it really hard to do what you actually want. So it's quite weird.
Yeah, it's like 3 levels of permissions that you have to like accept and enable for you to switch browsers on a Mac. It's pretty crazy.
Yeah. But a few more updates. I want everyone to know again and emphasize that we're really trying to give back. We're starting this whole campaign to get people engaged again, to get users to feel rewarded and recognized. So some of the things that just started in our community, we outlined it all, as an overview in our ecosystem accelerator. But there's all these pieces of that which are all in motion. One that's live now is retroactive rewards. These are basically community rewards, but they're going to a group of really, really loyal, hardcore supporters. They've helped us heaps and heaps over the years, if not, the last year, probably before. Some of them are super OG, and we're sending out some masks to thank them for all their various efforts. So we're slowly announcing those and recognizing them. And everyone watching and listening, we want you to know, if you're using the browser, you want to use the browser, that now will become you can use the browser and get rewarded. So one of the things we're working on, I shared a tweet on it as well, or I should say a post from now on, because we're on X, is we're working on some engagement widgets. This will be part of our outreach and marketing, where we're going to start doing more user engagement, add some virality to users in the browser app itself. And essentially you can click and share a tweet and say, hey, I'm using Mask Browser. I care about my privacy. And, that will allow us to pick people doing that and reward them regularly. And this is all in our community initiatives, our community rewards. So all the users will be able to earn Mask, even though it's testnet. Everything is free. Everything is open to try, and we're improving the features all the time and getting everyone's feedback. But now, even though it's testnet, which is using the test token, you can still get Mask rewards for just participating with us and giving us that really useful feedback, and of course sharing it, right? We want amplification. We want people to know about Mask more and become users, or at least try it. So we've got a lot of cool campaigns, a lot of things we're sparking up. Main way to get involved in that is don't be shy. Join our Discord. We have a lot of things that are all staged in there and integrated in there. Discord.gg/mask with a Q. And of course, it's real easy to get in there, get involved, chat with the team, just be active and, make yourself known. And yeah, we're sparking that off now. And one thing we did set up as well is we're going to closely look at where, a lot of SEO refinement, looking at where traffic's coming into our website. Of course, we use privacy preserving ways to do that. We don't use cookies or tracking, but we use Plausible, which is they're getting more popular now, a very amazing but privacy preserving alternative to Google AdWords and Google Analytics. So we're actually not using any of those Google Suite products. We actually don't use any. Internally, I've actually banned anyone using Gmail in our team. Not that they did, but if they said, I was like, if you're going to share me a document or a spreadsheet, you cannot use a Google Drive link. You cannot use a Google Sheets link. Don't share anything to me from Google. Just for the principle of it, right? It's just not cool. So, yeah, we don't use anything Google here. And we've actually found a replacement for Skiff, which was a sad day when they sunset. So a little reminder too, if you're a Skiff user, I think there's another month before they actually sunset their whole product suite, which is a shame. We're migrating away from that to another privacy preserving platform as well, which is very well respected. And and we might even preview some new partners in our app where I'm working on some partnerships. So there's always something going on. We're always keeping our ethos strong in terms of using privacy advocates or partners. And that's actually one thing going on too that reminds me, we've sponsored an event too, a Privacy Guardian, privacy advocate meetup in Europe. And they've asked us to be a sponsor, and we've sponsored their event. I think their event's starting tomorrow with a whole bunch of guest speakers and all about cool privacy tech and things coming out that are just helping users control their data, make sure that they are secure online. And some big names there too. So it's good to get our name out through those channels as well.
You just unpacked a whole lot of stuff. Let me start at the beginning. Why are you giving people that have been part of the community something now? Why?
Why? Well, it's time. We want people to know that we appreciate them. And also we want people to come back and get involved before they forget that the biggest things we've ever done are coming, right? Like mainnet, for example. these new browser upgrades, it honestly, like a year ago, you'd probably open Mask and be like, man, this is still a little bit too hard for me to use as a daily browser. Now you open it and you're like, holy crap, I could use this every day. This is my side piece. We kind of joked about it last Spaces. Make Mask your side browser. Like, I don't care if you don't want to use it every day. Maybe that's fair for you if you don't want to migrate from your old school browser you really enjoy. Use it as your side piece for privacy stuff. Ditch your VPN and use Mask. It's free at the moment. Like, we want all these things to like really pick up steam. And sometimes we know like people maybe want a little incentive to try it out in testnet. And that's what we're doing now. So it's no better time to give back.
And if they're getting rewarded, I'm sure they're gonna, share the love and probably gift some masks to other people, because like, that's the only way I spend Mask is by sending it out to other people. It's either buying Mask or sending it to people. It's like the only way I interact with Mask token right now.
Oh yeah,
so
Action Hood.
Something, why not share?
Action Hood.
Action Hood.
You've given away a lot of good stuff, man. I think you gave away some crypto wallets not long ago to some Handshake fans, and yeah, that was cool.
I do what I can. I got rugged for a few thousand, more than just a few thousand.
Yeah.
And I got wallets in return for it. So why not give it out? Why not, share the love?
Yeah, man, you're doing the right thing. But you always give out, man, and actually that's probably something we'll bake into some of these initiatives. So what our plan is, we're going to do them in sort of like in rounds, or I guess epochs, however we word it, where it'll be like couple weeks or however much time. Here's all the activities that people can do, and they can qualify for different amount of awards depending on how engaged they are, what activities they do, and it's all going to be pretty organic, but hosted within our community, so everyone will get to know who's active. Like, our team will be very closely engaged with people, and the other cool thing I want to see, and I'm sure we will, is I want to see, like, personally, from as the co-founder project lead, I want to see the next wave of super fans or like Mask advocates come out from this type of activity, because a lot of people in our community that are really pretty much full-time supporters of us, some of them are team members and they're paid full-time for being developers, or they have roles like more formal roles in our team. They were all homegrown. Like, we didn't really go through recruiting processes, or some of the developers we did interviewing formally, but a lot of our like community type roles, they're all homegrown from the community. And I want to see the next wave of new blood come through. And these could be people that become maybe our one of our marketing champions. They could become, a user support specialist who now has a formal role in the team, and all sorts of stuff like that. And I will handpick one or two people that I see coming up that are really helpful to be really, rewarded in that way from our team in a more formal way. So, I kind of like really excited to see who pops up from that. And some of these rewards we're giving out soon in this first round to like thank the OGs. Some of them were these types that are just constantly helping us. And it'd be unfair not to, really recognize them. Oh, look at this car.
That's
is this
amazing.
live?
I mean,
Is this yellow car you shared live?
Oh, it's not live yet. No. Somebody just, the guy that was rapping it sent it to me. So I just literally clicked the forward button and sent it over to you.
Nice.
But like bringing people up that are part of a project, like without, formal pay, people that are just, willing to be there through and through, regardless of what's happening. Like, those are the best people, man. Like, honestly, they are the most incredible people in the world. So to be able to support back and say, you know what, thank you for what you've done for us. We want to make sure that we're, we're doing the same, right back at you,
Yeah. And to be fair, we've said it for like a little too long, I think, and I wanted to be accountable for that, is that there's a whole bunch of people that just helped for months and months and months. We were like, hey, thank you so much. We appreciate you. We're gonna do some rewards, in the future. And we just, we really got head down into the development and all these important, project related stuff. And like we're kind of overdue to give back to these OGs, give back to these like really, really loyal supporters. And so that's what we're doing right now. That's the live rounds now, and then we're finalizing the whole like the open rounds, basically the open community rewards, where there'll be a whole bunch of things that anyone who's new or old or just maybe coming back wants to try the browser and they didn't try it yet, you can get involved and and earn some tokens, give us feedback. I mean, that's what's really valuable for us, is just getting that word out, using the browser. And helping us refine those features, And speaking of a few features, hopefully in the next version, we had to go back to a bit of design, but we want to get that node hop feature out where people can balance some speed with security and change, Mask from like the default it is now, where it's a 3-hop sort of privacy tool. You're hopping to 3 different nodes around the world, down to 2 or down to 1. And essentially Mask with 1 hop is pretty much Mask VPN. Essentially, we're like a VPN product at that level. So that's pretty crazy, because for us branding wise and advertising wise, someone who is already a VPN user will immediately resonate with a product that is called Mask VPN. They know what a VPN is. They might think, oh, cool, it's like something crypto based. I want to ditch my normal VPN because I don't really like them, or my experience has not been good. And it's just like, there's not a whole bunch of extra things to understand. We have a lot of potential to market that with paid ads, all sorts of campaigns we've already got scoped. So that's a big one. That's a real big one. And if that sits in as an extension in your browser, where it's a one-click VPN, and it's not the built-in free one in your browser, which is just harvesting the crap out of your data, because that's why it's free, yep. Right? This is a great alternative for people.
No, it's incredible. I mean, and honestly, just having the ability to do that is pretty neat in itself, because nobody else does this sort of thing. It's either you're tunneling or you're not. There's no in between, like, oh, just 1 hop, just 3 hops. Like, having that control, giving the users that control is unheard of right now. Like, nobody else does it.
Yeah. And there's a lot of other things like that unlocks too, like little sort of side features that we've been thinking about, things that the Mask core itself, like the actual software that runs all of this, that wasn't possible to do before with this feature not being done. Now it's live. And then the big one, which again is worthy of an update, we're about halfway through the development for the functionality, is the country selection. So obviously that's probably the biggest one.
I was just about to ask about that.
Yeah, that's probably the biggest feature.
Huge one.
Yep. Biggest thing that VPN users want when they have a VPN service is to pick where they want to exit and what, where they're getting their content from. So if I'm in little old New Zealand and I want to surf a site that's USA only, I want to pick USA, and I want to get that content from that whatever node runner is in USA. So that's huge. And I think what we're real excited about as a team, and we talk a couple times a week with each, group of departments, I guess you could say, in Mask. And that's where we're all aligned. We're like, dude, if Mask has node hop count, an extension, a browser, country selection, and it runs on crypto with no personal information, we win the game. Right? Like, how can we not win the game? At that point, we spend money on marketing even more, like proper pay per click, whatever marketing avenues. We start ramping that up, and we'll just grow like crazy because no one really has that feature set.
Yeah, I mean, that's when I get the Moon Boys involved and get everybody to hear about serving and running a node. We've had this discussion, Corey. Like, I just haven't deployed any of that because I don't want us to have a bunch of people trying to serve. But as soon as we're ready, dude, I'm gonna open the floodgates.
Oh, I know, man. I've really known that that part, the supply part of the equation, is really. Obviously, that's ripe for growth, but that's whenever that's ready, the timing and all the strategies right. Like, once that explodes, like it's it's like, damn, hold on to your hat, like that's where it all is going to blow up. And then, of course, behind the scenes, I'm still pivoting with these partners that we haven't named yet, or I might have dropped a few times, and it's not public yet. My other goal, my other part of this vision, is that anyone running a node for something else, we can insert Mask into that node running stack, your node stack, and you can run Mask at the same time as all the other stuff you already run and mine and validate and stake or whatever. And Mask becomes part of your little node runner stack, and you're helping, number one, promote digital freedom and anti-censorship. You're earning some mask. You can use it for free to run your VPN at that point, or just hold it, or just do whatever, or get premium features in the browser, like whatever you want to do. But it doesn't disrupt you already having a sunken cost of running a node already. You're adding in another benefit, and Mask can run. And I've even thought of reaching out recently, and I haven't said anything about this before, but I'm starting to, mingle with a few crowds where Tor's in there, and they're public good, a charity. They do a lot of good stuff for the whole privacy world, right? Why not advocate for that with Tor runners, right? Why wouldn't a Tor runner say, well, I'm doing this out of love now because Tor is free. I run it out of love. Why not run Mask at the same time and have an exit node for both? Win-win.
How do I say this? I have 80,000 nodes ready to deploy, by the way. Just tell me when.
80,000. Can I pick the country? Can we leave the Aussies out at the beginning just to make them FOMO?
Yes, absolutely. We can definitely do geo restrictions for Australia.
Well, it won't be geo restriction. It'll be just, let's not tell them for a little while. Let's let them figure it out.
Well, usually what I do, I talk about stuff during the day here so that y'all don't hear about it, but you're kind of included in that whole time zone thing, so we can't go that route.
Yeah, they'll eventually find out because they're kind of in the future. Like when they wake up, they'll be like, oh, this is all the stuff that's happened.
Yeah, no, but seriously, there are networks out there that what they're trying to do is just welcome projects that are looking to run, they already have a bunch of nodes. They reward people for running those nodes, and they just want to get more projects involved. So that's literally a hop and a skip, and one of those Telegram groups I'll get you connected with, and the rest is history. Probably within a week's time we can get it all set up and literally have Mask anywhere in the world that you want.
Yeah, that's the key. I mean, honestly, that's probably the only scaling aspect that needs to be done to really make it worldwide. And the more valuable side of the serving will be residential users serving, because obviously that is the most organic looking traffic, where someone is sitting at home in a place. We want people to know, if you're going to serve, you got to make sure it's okay to do that where you live, because some places, like for example China or whatever, if you do use P2P stuff, there could be consequences. You could get in trouble. So everyone's doing everything we talk about, obviously at their own risk or their own research of what's allowed. But if you're a residential user in, say, somewhere like the US where you can run all this stuff, Tor is not banned, VPNs aren't banned, all this stuff is open to use, and you're running at home, anyone using your node is going to look like a normal average Joe sitting at their home in the US, just surfing Netflix or surfing whatever, eBay, Amazon, whatever it is you want, stuff you can't get. And that's perfect because it's hiding in plain sight. Nothing can detect that you're using Mask. And because it's a residential user, it's not going to look like a cloud service or a cloud node or something strange. It just looks like anyone else. And if everyone runs that, then everyone is safe. You hide in the biggest mass you can make, and no one can stop it.
Yeah, so you're literally hiding in plain sight, and nobody's going to be able to blacklist those addresses either. You're going to blacklist some, household. That's just not feasible. As that happens all the time with regular VPNs.
Oh yeah.
They claim, we're everywhere in the world, but it's they have 1,000 servers max spread across the world. That's a very short list for people to have to blacklist,
Yeah. And that is a weak point of other solutions, right? Or solutions that are purely run on the cloud, or even Tor. Like Tor, again, they're OGs. They've paved the way for all the stuff that we're building, and totally need to be respected for what they're always doing as a nonprofit public good in privacy. But because they have a public list of exit nodes, countries or providers that want to try and restrict it, it's a lot easier to really mess with it and restrict all that. So users have a hard time sometimes using that because of in that design. And it's good and bad. It's got two different sides to it. But yeah, with what we're talking about, if every person who loves crypto and loves, protecting their data and helping others protect their data, if they all run a node, then it's unstoppable. It really is. There's no way to shut it down without shutting down the internet. And yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah. So basically, what you described as like no protection, bad, or good. Mask, better.
Yeah, that's the elite level. Yeah, it's that meme where you've got the person's brain with the light coming out as they get more and more enlightened.
There you go. There you go.
Yeah, man. But yeah, just to wrap up a few other things I wanted to cover, because I know you're probably excited to get your car as well. What else are we working on? Yeah, so our goal with the next version, just for those still tuned in on the software side, we want to get these engagement widgets on the Mask browser desktop. So when you open it up, the first thing you see is your desktop where you can put a custom background, whatever you want to do with your space, and then it's got a little widget, two little widgets. One, and we're making back-end stuff to actually show real activity as well about our network. One's going to show how many people have bought Mask in the last 24 hours and how many nodes are currently active on the network based on on-chain activity. Because obviously we don't collect user stats, everybody. We're one of the only projects, I don't know, maybe we are I doubt there's many, but maybe we're the only one that is doing what we're doing, and we're not collecting user data. We're not touching your data. We're not tracking what you do. The closest thing we have to any type of user analytics is, number one, our website, using a privacy-preserving, no-cookie way for us to just see, how many users are visiting the site from what countries. I'll give a few stats I thought were interesting before we finish as well from that. And what happens on chain, because that's what blockchain, a lot of blockchains are designed to be distributed ledgers. So that's the real user activity, is what is happening on chain. And when mainnet goes live, it's the same. That's really the only real way to look at how much data is flowing through the network. Well, how much Mask is being paid to peers. There's no central, entity doing it. It's all the new users in the network. So we're making those as two little widgets. They look nice. And then if you click on one, it'll have a post onto X where you can link it straight into an X post. That will be part of our rewards. People who want to share that, hey, I'm a proud Mask user. This will be one of the avenues we use to share and reward users. And then the other one with the how many people have purchased Mask, this will be a one click for you to go top up Mask, buy it, do whatever you want. So that's what we want to make in the next browser. And then hopefully one thing I'm working on in relation to that is I'm talking to fiat on-ramp partners, because we want to make it one step easier for people who might not be so into crypto yet, and maybe all they have is a credit card to buy their first purchase of something, of Mask or whatever. We got to have an easy way to do it. All VPNs, it's a one-click checkout. So we kind of got to move into that direction for user adoption to make it easy for someone in mainnet. And now even to get privacy premium features in the browser, how do you get Mask in one click? Or close to one click. And maybe you don't have a wallet set up that's got Matic in it. How do you do it? And we got to probably integrate some partners with that. So we're doing some of that now. You might have some connections action with some fiat partners.
I might know a few people, just a few. It depends, like how much KYC do you need? Like, I can get you no KYC.
That's right.
Banking? Yes, sir. I can take care of you too.
That's it. See, that's what we need, man. One-click checkout, no KYC. I mean, that would be the goal, right? And at least it can get them entry level, right? If it's $20 a Mask, 50, 100, whatever, the lowest without KYC, that would be preferred. And that's kind of what we're screening now, because it's got to stay privacy centric as well. Obviously, it's a user choice. You don't have to use it. It doesn't collect data if you don't use it. So that's what we're going with that.
Easy, we'll make it happen. Little shout out to the crypto market though. Like I do have to let you guys know, like if Mask ever gets into the 16 cents mark, I would just buy more because I keep making money. So thanks everybody for dumping Bitcoin and everything else to go along with it so I can buy more Mask.
Yeah, man, I've been a bit trigger happy. I won't say how much I've been accumulating, but safe to say I've never been more high conviction about myself and my my team, our team at Mask, the community, the product, the direction, the need for privacy, never been stronger. So, I do thank everyone, in the crypto space for these levels again. You don't get many
I
opportunities.
only bought 5 ETH last time, man. I only got 5 ETH worth last time. So I guess
Wow.
I guess I'll go back in and do some more.
Yeah, well, don't front run me, man. Come on. But yeah, a lot of people are looking at that and they're like, oh, well, I mean, hey, everything is taking that, trend down, but things are still halfway through the year. We've got a lot of catalysts coming up, not just in Mask, but in the whole macro level. Election years usually have a lot of crazy stuff going on, and let's just, we got to acknowledge crypto is becoming an election issue. I don't see us going down, like forever, because look at how relevant things are becoming with all this. It's pretty crazy to see.
Yeah, no, and I just did a video with Joshua Jake from Discover Crypto.
Nice.
Apparently he's a big shot. I just think he's funny. But yeah, no, we're just hanging out. Like, that was one of the things. Like, dude, like, it's election year. Like, people are like not taking this into consideration. Like, Vivek is likely to be, the vice president for Trump. Like, that will definitely get announced very soon here at this debate. And that's really bullish for Bitcoin. It's really bullish for crypto as a whole. And here's a tidbit about Mask. You don't even have to believe Mask is going to take over the world. If ETH pumps, guess who goes right along with ETH? Right along with whatever pair Mask has out there.
Yep.
So just keep that in mind. Like, it just goes up. Like, that's why you see a lot of the market actually turning green. When one thing goes green, a lot of things go green. Well, it's because the pairs make a big difference. So if your pair, if Mask is paired with ETH and ETH, goes up, Mask goes up with it. People forget that that's how it works in the background. They're like, oh, my token's up. And it's like, actually, that's just Solana pumping, dude. Like, it's just meme coins that are making your token pump. It's not you.
Yeah, right. Yeah, everyone thinks they're a genius on a green day. It's quite funny. But yeah, I mean, we got to all, stay strong. And if you have high conviction, in something you really believe what they're doing, like, you got to act on those things. And I mean, we're not telling anybody what to do, non-financial advice, all of that. Do your own research. But,
Oh, no, I'll tell people what
we're
to
here
do.
to stay.
If y'all want to get rid of Mask, hit me up. We'll OTC it.
Oh yeah, hit up Action Hoods. He's going to do his thing. He's going to redistribute it to himself. Oh man.
I don't sell Mask. I will tell you that. I just buy it, so it's okay. Just I'm here for you.
My man. I knew it. He's an honest guy. I trust everything Action says. Of course. Just leaving.
I'll share my wallet. That sounded a little bit of sarcasm in your voice. I'll share the wallet. I don't mind doing that either.
Oh yeah, no, I mean it. I meant what I said. Well, trust me, I've sent you some, so I know. I've seen it sitting there collecting dust, and it's a good thing.
No, I've given a ton of that away, dude. What are you talking about? That's my giveaway wallet.
Oh yeah. Besides that, I know the rest is sitting somewhere in cold storage, probably.
How'd you know?
Well, I don't know which whale you are, but I'm sure, there's somewhere one of these top 10 holders.
I'm not up there. No, not yet. No, not nowhere near Corey levels. Not yet, at least.
One of these days, man. But this is it, this is like a staging ground time. And even a lot of project builders I'm mingling with, they're all just at full on build mode. I mean, you gotta tune this noise out, because let's just say the trend changes again, right? Things go up. What's the first thing people who have been sitting in stable coins look for? What's releasing? What projects are active? What projects are out there with their products live, building users, and they haven't stopped? Well, I can tell you, we haven't stopped. Everyone here knows it if you've been here like 5 minutes. But to finish off with some stats too, like, this is a testament to even just our organic activity. We still have a 7.5% conversion rate on our website for downloads, and most of these are from Windows users. That's pretty high. Like people who go to our website, like you run stats and marketing and stuff sometimes. Action, like that's a pretty good stat. 7.5%.
It's a really good stat. No, that's unheard of. Yeah, I mean, honestly, it sounds like to me like people that are going on the Mask website, they're not just stumbling upon it. Like they're probably getting told to go there by somebody, you know. So
Yeah.
whoever's out there doing the word of mouth, marketing, thank you, because I don't see any other way for having that conversion rate.
Yeah. And I mean, and that's so our website visitation rates have gone down a little bit in the last 7 days and 30 days, which is not unheard of because of, market shifts and changes and stuff, or people are focusing on other things. But what's gone up is unique downloads. So we have, had almost 50% jump in unique downloads in the last week. And that conversion rate's pretty high. And then, of course, we look on chain for our best stats, and those holder counts have increased. So we've had, I think, 32 more unique holders of the test token, which means they're new users of most probable. They're brand new users of the Mask browser. They're users to the ecosystem, and that's all healthy. So I want to look more on stats, and people who like numbers or whatever will appreciate it because you can see that if there's growth in the numbers, that means even if things overall kind of don't look as shiny as they used to, like if the number growth is still good and steady, then you're still doing something right. And so I've got to remind myself too, and others, like, hey, we still got some good traction there. And of course, I expect all these to really, really grow because of the ecosystem stuff we're doing, the community rewards, and some other cool stuff I haven't announced yet, but it's in the works. Some really, awesome partnerships and other ways for people to get rewarded too. So yeah, really stoked for.
Is that the Mask giveaway I'm doing next week?
Oh,
where I'm going to have people like put a little screenshot of their computer with the Mask browser on it, and I'll pick a random person and like give like $50, $100, something like that.
Dude,
is that the one you're talking about?
That's right, man. Thank you for reminding me, Action Hood. We gotta sketch this up. Let's do it.
I'm 100%. I'm just don't. You're out of this conversation. I'm just going to take care of it. I have a big DPIN space I'm supposed to run next week, so I'm just going to attach Mask to it and say Mask is sponsoring it, and that's what's happening.
Nice. Send us the deets. Spread the love. We'll get it. We'll amplify it for you. And man, that's awesome. Anyone who hears that, hey, you got another way to do it. And maybe bonus points for like the coolest location in the background, right? Like if you're on the top of a cliff or sitting on your car that's yellow with a Mask browser.
Oh man. You know what? That's a great idea. I'm gonna try to get to the studio early tomorrow. See if I can get the car in the actual studio where they do the filming of the sharks, and see if I can take some pictures in there.
Nice. That'll be cool, man. Hey, I'll donate to you.
Then I can Photoshop the Mask logo on the hood.
Yeah, that's it. Hey, if you do that, I'll make you a winner. I'll send you some, and then you can Robin Hood it out or Action Hood it out to some other winners.
Love the idea. Love it.
Great, man. No, that's awesome. And we covered heaps today. I hope someone took notes. That might be a little community incentive I might put out. I've been thinking about for a while as someone who regularly attends these and makes some awesome cliff notes and shares it with the community. There might be a cool little spot for you to fill and earn regularly from our team. So, all giving back to the community. So we appreciate everybody. Thank you for listening. I'll do a little outro. If you want to hear more about us, obviously, like and subscribe to hear us here on X. Jump into our Discord. That's where all the action's happening, not only with just testing, but regular announcements, engagements with the team, and of course, all of these community rewards that we're launching. It's all staged in the Discord, just so we know you're real people. So we're avoiding all the botting and stuff that can sometimes leech reward programs. It's not going to be a problem here. We're going to reward real people. And those of you who really want to get noticed and help us, we appreciate you. This is for you. If you want to use a browser you haven't yet, man, don't do anything else after this X Spaces except for go to maskbrowser.com, click on the little download button at the top and pick your operating system. You've got Linux, you've got Mac, you've got Windows. You can get it today. Download it. 30 seconds from now, after downloading, you will be in the Mask browser and you'll be able to use it for free on testnet. Everything's taken care of. So no more excuses. If you're listening, do that. Go to those places, get the browser, and give us your feedback. Thanks for listening, everybody. Thanks for sharing your time with us, Action. And until next time. Thanks for the special effects.
Best I can do today.
I know, no
Best
music outros. I know, you're on the road, man, but you did well. Thanks again, brother.
Yeah. My pleasure. Fastest hour I've ever spent in this vehicle.
My man, that's right. Well, hey, thanks again, and we'll stay in touch. See you, everybody.
Absolutely. Thanks, everybody.
See ya.